What's good, family? I am headed to the airport right now to shoot an event, but oh my God, is that a Batmobile? My goodness, what is that? I just randomly drove by a Ford GT. That thing was blacked out like my goodness. I digress, y'all. I wanted to give you 3 travel tips for those that want to pivot into the corporate space, but really actually want to be a traveling corporate photographer, doing corporate photo, doing video, doing interviews. If you want to travel, I'm going to give you 3 tips that are going to help you travel as efficiently as possible. Let's get it. All right, so the first travel tip, this is something that you must have. You got to get TSA PreCheck. Listen, I know you have been in that TSA line that had 75,000 people in it. And I know you saw that TSA PreCheck line just breezing, just getting it. And you over here looking, feeling broke, right? Like, are they rich? Like, how did they get in this VIP line? It's just TSA PreCheck. For those that don't know, with TSA PreCheck, you do a simple, literal 1-page application. You pay $75 and TSA PreCheck lasts you for 5 years. Now, what are the benefits and perks of TSA PreCheck? Well, as you have likely seen in person, it is a much faster TSA experience, and with your, fingerprints and that process that you go through, the application process, they pre-check you. So when you go through security, you don't have to take your shoes off, your belts off, your jackets off. You don't have to take your laptops out of the sleeve. You literally walk through, empty your pockets, put your bag, walk through the security thing, get your stuff and go. I am telling you right now, after having pre-check for about 2 years now, I have not stood in a TSA line for more than 15 minutes. I've been all over the country. I have been in TSA PreCheck lines that had 75 people in them. But because the process is more streamlined, you get through so much faster. Now, this is important because as you start to book these corporate clients, like you've seen, you might shoot an event at 5, you might have an event that ends at 5 p.m., right? And you might want to get home to the wife and the kids. And so you might have, a flight that leaves at 7:30 p.m. headed back home. To maximize your chances of making sure you get on every single flight you book, you need to have TSA PreCheck. One quick story, I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was heading, I was heading from one conference to the next one. I had about an hour and 15 minutes until my flight left. I pull up to that Charlotte airport, which is garbage, by the way. I know they're doing a lot of construction, but man, that airport is so busy. It really should be like triple the size it is, right? But with that being said, I kid you not, the TSA line had to have had at least 200 people in it. If you've been in that Charlotte airport, like most airports, that check-in area is just kind of like a big, very wide kind of hallway, right? The TSA line was from the end of where it started, literally all the way to the other end of the whole front side of the airport. But with TSA PreCheck, I walked right past all those people. There was about 75 people in line, and I made it through TSA PreCheck in about 17 minutes. If I would have had to have gotten in that line, 100% I would have missed my flight. So that TSA PreCheck has saved my life a handful of times. And if you're out here and there is money on the line and you have gotten this corporate bag, you cannot miss your flight. So trust me, get TSA PreCheck today. I'll drop a link somewhere in the description. and there's a TSA website. You sign up, it's a quick application process, and let's get out here and get this bag, okay?
If you're a talented creative, but you're struggling to land consistent, high-paying corporate photo and video work, you're not alone. More specifically, if you're tired of the weddings, the portraits, the one-off events, and you want to get into the corporate space, I got you covered. The truth is, most photographers and videographers, man, they hit a wall. And it's not because they aren't good, it's because they don't have a clear plan. They don't know how to pivot. They don't know how to scale. That's exactly why I am now offering the Corporate Ready Consultation. This is a 90-minute one-on-one strategy session built for creators who are ready to pivot and scale in the corporate space. I know exactly where you are. You're tired. You're not making enough money. You're not making consistent money, or you're doing well, but you want to scale. We're going to talk about your brand positioning. We're going to talk about your pricing. I'm going to look over your website and portfolio. Then we're also going to talk about how you're finding leads and why you need to make sure you have a CRM in place to have a cohesive workflow, both for you and your clients. If you are tired of spinning your wheels, I got you covered, family. So make sure you click below, book your one-to-one corporate ready consultation, and let's get to this corporate bag, y'all. Let's get it.
The second travel tip is that you need to get lounge access. Now, I know this depends on a few other factors, but let me tell you guys something. If you can get a credit card with Delta, United, American, or if you can get the American Express Platinum card, that will give you access to the Amex Centurion Lounge. It is an incredible travel tip. Why? Because when you go to the airport, you may know, or you should know, how expensive the food is. When you go to one of these lounges, the food is free, the drink is free. A lot of times I will plan my travel around being able to go to a lounge and fill up and get the food, the beverage, the drink. That way you don't have to worry about making food at home. That way you don't have to worry about spending money at the airport for food and drink. Or if you happen to have, a 2-hour layover, 3-hour layover, instead of having to spend more money, you can just go find a lounge and get some food, some drink, relax, fast Wi-Fi, charge all your devices before you head to your connecting flight. So if you have not already, or if you have seen those lounges and you see people walking in and out, listen, the lounge experience will elevate your whole travel life, but it's also really good to write off as a business expense, but also to help you save money and make sure that you can stay connected while you're traveling. So if you haven't looked into it, I would personally recommend, if you have good credit, I would personally recommend applying for that American Express Platinum card and try out the Amex Centurion Lounge. I've tried most of the lounges out. From my experience, it's the best lounge with the best food. The final travel tip for when you get your photo and video clients coming in the door is you need to get a media badge. Now, when you're traveling and you're doing interviews or something and you bring that Think Tank Production Manager 40 or 50, and that bag is 100 pounds or 98 pounds or 75 pounds, man, they're gonna try to charge you 150 bucks. I've seen, I forget which airline it was, but they tried to charge me $225 to check an overweight bag. I kid you not. But your boy said, let me get that hot media rate. And what's the first thing they said? Do you have media credentials? Why, yes, I do. It's actually right here in my backpack. Hold on, let me get this out right here while I'm driving. I'm being safe. But right here in my backpack, I have a media badge that I made myself, and I can drop the link below to the website I used to make this media badge. I think it was about 30 bucks. It's like a hard, plastic media badge. Has my logo, media, or whatever it says on here. I'm driving. And this lanyard, I took this lanyard off of the badge from a conference I shot. And so I keep this in my backpack at all times. So just in case my bag is overweight, I'd be like, stop right there, Mary. I'm going ahead and get that media rate. Now, the media rate is $50 for any bag up to 100 pounds, y'all. So I'm actually gonna be honest, I actually don't check the weight of my bags anymore. I pack what I need, and when I get to the airport, if it's overweight, I know I'm not going over $50 for a fact. And that gives me peace of mind. Also, it's one less thing I have to think about, and I can really focus more on, do I have what I need versus is it gonna be less than 50 pounds? I don't have to worry about that anymore, okay? So trust me when I tell you, if you wanna travel, you need to get TSA PreCheck. You need to get lounge access to streamline your experience and to get free food and drink if you have layovers or you want to charge your devices or you just want to get some espresso or some real coffee, right? Or a real breakfast, you get that lounge access. And then of course, get a media badge so that you don't have to, pick and choose what gear you need to bring. You can just pack what you need, and you know for a fact, you'll never pay more than $50. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Have you used these tips or did you find this helpful? And as always, if you enjoyed this video, man, go ahead and consider liking and subscribing. Over here on this channel, man, I'm talking about all things that are gonna help you scale and level up your corporate photo and video business. And as always, guys, keep shooting. Let's get this corporate bag.